This channel does not promote or encourage any illegal activities. All contents provided by this channel is meant for educational purpose only.
White boy, BBL Drizzy, I got a question. I saw you posted you got more money than Ricky Rose. And let's assume you did. Well, your best friend, Birdman, his house went into foreclosure 5 years ago.
What the hell is going on with you and Drake?
Homie, he kind of lost focus. He stepped out there. He actually mentioned my name. There's so many people that feel Rose was the initiator. No, it wasn't. He took a list that was...
Ross, y'all had the summer going crazy.
Yeah, we did.
What? I thought all y'all was like cool.
He mentioned my name, and that's a no-no. Don't do that. Especially when it ain't about no real, but when you do.
What made you decide to tell the DJ not to play Drake's vocals on Aston Martin music? Because there's a debate. I'm sure you've seen.
Rick Ross and Drake used to be two of the biggest names in hip-hop working together, making hits, showing love on stage and on wax. But behind the scenes, there was always a quiet tension bubbling under the surface, and eventually it exploded into one of the messiest, most talked about beefs in recent rap history. Today we're breaking down exactly how it happened, why it happened, and what it means for both of their legacies going forward. Before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we cover the biggest stories in hip-hop every single week, and you do not want to miss what's coming next. For years, Rick Ross and Drake had what looked like a solid working relationship. Ross was one of the first major artists to co-sign Drake back when he was still coming up, and the two of them collaborated on records that fans still play to this day. Ross even brought Drake out on tour, put him on his label's compilation projects, and publicly praised him as one of the hardest working artists in the game. On the surface, everything looked good. But anyone who's been in the music industry long enough knows that surface-level friendliness doesn't always tell the whole story. The cracks started showing when Drake's beef with Kendrick Lamar reached its boiling point. That situation pulled in almost everybody in hip-hop, whether they wanted to be involved or not, and Rick Ross was no exception. Ross made comments that seemed to side with Kendrick, and it didn't take long for Drake to notice. What started as subtle shade turned into direct shots, and once that line got crossed, there was no going back. Rick Ross didn't hold back. He went after Drake's authenticity, questioning his upbringing, his connection to the culture, and even bringing up personal details about Drake's family and his home life. Ross has always positioned himself as a boss figure in hip-hop, someone who speaks from experience and doesn't fear backlash, and he used that same energy against Drake. He dropped diss records, took shots on social media, and made it clear he wasn't backing down from the confrontation. Drake, for his part, didn't stay silent either. Anyone who's followed his career knows he doesn't shy away from a battle when he feels disrespected. He fired back with his own bars, questioning Ross's relevance, bringing up old industry rumors, and reminding everyone of moments from Ross's past that he felt exposed some hypocrisy. The back and forth got personal fast, and fans online ate up every second of it, breaking down bars line by line, trying to figure out who landed the bigger blow. What made this beef different from a lot of others is the history behind it. This wasn't two strangers going at each other for clout. This was two men who had actual history, who had been in the studio together, who had shared stages and shared fans. That history is exactly what made the dices hit harder, because both of them knew exactly where to aim. Rick Ross knew details about Drake's world that a random rapper wouldn't know, and Drake had the same kind of insider knowledge about Ross. When people who know each other that well start throwing punches, it stops feeling like a rap battle and starts feeling like a real falling out. Social media played a massive role in keeping this beef alive. Every post, every comment, every subtle line in an interview got dissected by fans looking for hidden meaning. Podcasts spent entire episodes breaking down the situation. Clips got remixed, reposted, and turned into memes within hours. The culture around hip-hop beef has changed a lot over the years, and this situation showed just how fast things can spread now compared to the past, when a diss record might take weeks to even reach certain corners of the country. Now it's instant, everywhere, all at once. There's also the business side of this beef that people don't always talk about. Both Rick Ross and Drake are businessmen as much as they are artists. Ross has his own ventures outside of music, and Drake has built an empire that goes far beyond just dropping albums. When two people at that level go to war publicly, it's never just about ego. It's about protecting brand, protecting reputation, and making sure the narrative doesn't get away from them. Every line in every song was calculated, not just for shock value, but for how it would shape public perception long after the beef cooled down. Fans have been split right down the middle on who came out on top. Some say Rick Ross brought a level of aggression and street credibility that Drake couldn't match, using his experience and his position as an OG to talk down to Drake in a way that stuck. Others say Drake's sharper wordplay and ability to control the internet conversation gave him the edge, pointing out that Drake has been here before, with bigger names, and always finds a way to come out, still standing on top commercially. Either way, the debate itself became part of the entertainment, with fans arguing in comment sections and on podcasts for weeks after the initial shots were fired. It's worth remembering that hip-hop has always had beef as part of its DNA. From the earliest days of the culture, rappers have used conflict as a way to prove skill, gain attention, and settle real or perceived disrespect. What made the Rick Ross and Drake situation stand out is that it happened at a time when both men were already major forces in the industry, meaning neither one had anything to prove in terms of success. This wasn't two up-and-coming artists trying to make a name. This was two established stars risking their public image for the sake of pride and principle, and that's part of what made people take it so seriously. As time went on, the intensity of the back and forth started to cool, the way most rap beefs eventually do. Neither side has fully squashed things in a public way, but the constant stream of new songs and direct shots slowed down significantly. Some fans believe there could still be more coming, especially if either artist feels the need to respond to future comments or interviews. Others believe both men have moved on to focus on their own individual projects and business ventures, choosing legacy over continued conflict. What this whole situation really shows is how complicated relationships in the music industry can be. People who work together, who build each other up, who share history, can still end up on opposite sides of a very public war. It's a reminder that in hip-hop, loyalty, and business don't always mix cleanly, and even the strongest alliances can crack under the right pressure. So what do you think? Do you believe Rick Ross or Drake came out looking stronger from this whole situation? Drop your opinion in the comments below, like this video if you enjoyed the breakdown, and subscribe if you want more deep dives into the biggest stories shaping hip-hop culture right now. We'll see you in the next one.